What's up? Welcome back to iTutorTherapy, back with another video, and today I have for you 3 separate random tips on how to make your life easier and better when you're teaching demos or regular sessions. Let's begin. The first tip I'm going to share with you today is one of my techniques to make the students laugh. And we talked before about how laughter and enjoying their time is actually very important for students to sign up with you if it was a demo, or actually give you a 10 and good rating if you were a regular teacher in an OUP session or a regular session 45. So one of my techniques is actually I start uploading silly pictures of my face, which makes them laugh so much and make them remember me as a teacher. And here I'm going to show you how.
This part, we're just going to do something very simple and very easy. I'm going to show you how I make my junior students laugh by uploading silly pictures of myself doing different things or expressing different emotions. So let's just go here to our training page, practice room, and we're going to go to the Tutor Meet Plus. They're just where I'm going to show you what I usually do. Now, while this is loading, I'm saying that this is just something that it's not necessarily guaranteed or anything. However, it has really worked out for me many times, and a lot of students liked it and laughed a lot because of it, and it's gotten me a lot of 10s too, because it's one of those things that cheers them up and just it's not always repeated boring lesson stuff, and that's it. So in here, for example, let's add a blank page. We have the function that we can add an image, right? So I can go here and add an image from my desktop of myself, like this one, right? However, that might not be very interesting like that. This is a screenshot I took of myself while I'm teaching. That's not very interesting like that. So what I usually try to do is I go to a website called remove.bg. And this website actually removed the background of those pictures like you see in here. So we upload an image and I go to my desktop. Let's choose some random picture, for example this one when I'm surprised. Okay, and then after that you see that it's removed the wall from behind me, and now I can just use the picture while I'm floating in the air like that. And then we can go back here and actually add this image. Alright, I find a copy of it on my desktop. For example, here it is. Boom. And when this happens, you find it's really funny when the teacher's head is floating into the air like that, and students tend to laugh. And sometimes I use it and I draw a speech bubble if I want to, for example, teach them the word surprise. And then I can write something in here like, I am surprised. Alright, so this is one of those things that can actually just teach them a couple of words using your facial expressions, and it can help them laugh and just feel like, oh my god, it's the teacher. Also, I also try to do something else, like I don't use the search photo function a lot, because most of the time I search for a photo, I can see it, but the students cannot see it. However, the add image function, 99% of the time it works. When I upload an image, everyone can see it, and that's much more reliable than the search photo function in here. So let's try to add another image, and I'd like to show you what I do. For example, let's try to put this one where I am feeling crazy happy for some reason, and it's like very scary and creepy, but quickly I can actually make it smaller so it will not look so crazy and scary after that. And in here I can actually do a lot of crazy things with it, like I have a picture of a hat. I can put it on top of my head, and I know some of you are teaching this polka dot in the OUP, and then we can just put it on my head like that, and then I say, the teacher wears a polka dot hat. and they like it, and they actually start to pay attention to what a polka dot is. Alright, because in the real lesson it's just confusing and there's so many hats. It's just an example. I also can sometimes, underneath my head, I would draw a stick figure to complete my body, and they also find this funny sometimes. Like, in the end, there is no limit to your imagination. Do whatever you want. Of course, you can try to make the pictures as perfect as possible, trim out the neck, and just make it the floating head. All that can make things easier and more interesting for the student, and it gets them to laugh, it gets them to like you and remember you, and that's what we all want, whether for a demo to get them to sign up with us, or from a regular junior student to get him to give us a 10. And I hope that was useful. Please don't judge my crazy looking picture in here. Anyway, thank you so much.
Alright, the second tip is actually about how to be able to look at the student's video while it looks like you're looking at him in the eye. Because usually what we do is we look at the student's video down on the left side, and to the student it doesn't look like we're looking at them, we look like we're looking somewhere else. Looking a student in the eye can actually make you look more professional, can improve the bond or the connection between you and the student, and actually that can help you get that sign up or make the student in a regular class feel this connection with you as a teacher. Whereas if you're always all the time looking somewhere else, he might feel like you're distracted, you're not professional, you're looking in a different direction, you don't pay him attention, so it's not very good for you. So I'm gonna show you how to see the student's video while still looking like you are looking them in the eye.
Alright guys, hey, welcome back to my practice room, and here let's look at directly how to look at the student. Usually here is what happens. Usually we look at ourselves like that and we talk like, hey, yeah, hi, how are you? But the problem is you're looking at yourself. To the student, that doesn't look very natural. It looks like someone who's looking here to the side, a little bit down, talking to me. And there is no eye contact, or there is no face-to-face conversation with the student because I'm looking at myself. Or it's even worse, if there is a student video underneath my video, then I will be even looking more down like this. I would be looking here. And I'm like, yeah, Jimmy, tell me, how are you? Oh yeah, I'm happy too, thank you so much. It doesn't look very natural. So the way to make it natural is you have to look into the webcam like that. And when you look into the webcam, it's unnatural for us, but it will feel natural for them. So you're gonna have to either get used to it or do this trick that I'm gonna show you. So when we are in the classroom, we can right-click on the student's video and click picture in picture, like here, and then we can move the student's video anywhere we want. Usually I put it centered under the webcam, so when I'm looking at the student, it will look like I am looking him in the eye while still watching his video.
As for my third tip, is actually about handling the situations where the student is way below level and they give you materials that's above level. So many times, especially when you start teaching those 25 minutes demos, they're going to give you the materials, and not always the materials will be appropriate for the student's level. And I have seen a lot of people complain and say, I've had a level 6 material with a student who's barely level 2, what should I do? And in here I'm going to show you what you need to do. Most of the time all you need to do is just cover this material, keep the basic simple pictures, and start teaching him some new words or new vocabulary. So the problem is with dynamic materials that we have to teach these days, there is not the option to add a blank page, and I'm going to show you how you can have a blank page in the dynamic materials, or how actually from the beginning to handle this situation with a student who doesn't know anything at all. Let's go.
So let's start by going to the place where you can actually go and practice all the dynamic materials in order to be ready for your demos. We can go to practice room and we can create start practicing now, demo level 1 to 9. And that will take us to a TutorMeet Plus page that has all the materials already preloaded in there, and just you can do whatever you want with them. Now in here, for example, this is the first one for animals. You can go through it like this and you can practice, you can see what you want, you can look at the pictures and get ideas for what you would do when you already have a student in class and all that. However, let's say you want to write something in here, and in some cases, especially with higher level materials, you might not have any space to write something on that. Now, in this case, we have two choices. The first thing is you can choose to draw a square and choose the color to be white. And also you click on fill, so the color will be inside also, not just the frame, like that. And then you can start typing whatever you want. Hi, how are you? Okay, now this is cool if you want to write something small. However, it can be a little bit annoying when you actually need to go back to what's under this block, and sometimes you just delete it and the text remains and it's just messy and it doesn't look good, and maybe the clients will not like that. So here's another trick to get a blank page. You can actually jump between different materials. In here, if we click, we see like we have only add image and search photo. So we don't have the option to add a blank page. However, if you open this tab, usually you will not find all these from 1 to 9 materials. You're just gonna find the one that you're supposed to be teaching for this particular student because the level is already determined. However, you will also have access to these 3 pages that are in Chinese. Usually these pages are pretty much of no use to us. I think these are what the demo agents use to show everything to the clients before we go into the classroom. However, when you go to this page, it's a different kind of page, and you're actually going to be able to click here on the plus, and you will find that you are able to add a blank page, and then you can write anything you want. So you have 2 options: either use a white block on top of the page or move to the other material in here, this one on top, and then you will have the option to add a blank page. And then feel free to jump back to the level 1 animals or whatever you were teaching, alright, and continue what you're doing. Now, as for the part of the problem when you have a student who is way below level or above level and you have no materials to teach him because of course they give you one specific material and you feel it's not appropriate for the current student, what I would recommend is you go back to this practice page that we talked about, and you can take a screenshot from any particular page of any material that you want, like that, okay, and then you go back to your own original materials that was way above level, for example, like in this case here, and then we just not do anything here, just click add image, upload, and we put the screenshot that we put, alright, that we need or we can use, and the student will see it, and you can start working from here. Okay, so even though you don't have access to the material on the demo platform when you're teaching the actual real classroom, you always have access to the material when you are in the practice room, and you can always take a screenshot. Now these screenshots, you can take them beforehand, you can take them on the spot, like just open the tab and quickly go take a screenshot. It doesn't matter, just you can do this. Also, you can extend the topic, you can change the topic, you can do whatever you want. Don't be limited by the materials that you have, because it shouldn't cost you a sign up just because the material is not appropriate for the student's level.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Those were 3 random tips that can make your life easier or more difficult. It depends on how you do it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Some of these tips might have been obvious to some of you. Some of these tips might have been a surprise or shocking. It doesn't matter. For me, I'm just showing you what I do, what works for me, and it's up to you to use it or not use it. Thank you so much. Hope to see you next time. And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the goddamn bell to know when I upload a new video. Peace.